Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Architecture is about everything. We change the environment. We are changing how people live in the environment today. So we basically put our fingerprint on the future of what the United States looks like. My overall business philosophy is that I'm engaged with my company from top to bottom. And I think the racing world and helping out the next generation and younger drivers is a passion of mine. And it's getting stronger and stronger every year. With that, that's why I want to be involved.
Maslin. It's a Porsche GT3 Cup car. And here we go. Field starting to roll away. Another one of our Ferraris. It's the 03 of Yusuf Nabi. It's a 2013 Ferrari 458 Challenge Series machine. That's turn 3A right there, Mission Foods 3A, top of the hill, right-hander. He dropped down immediately after cresting over that blind ridge, and it's down into turn 4 right here. This is 5. As you continue down. And then it briefly goes back uphill, crests, and then drops immediately. A severe incline down and to the left as you drop down into the carousel right here. Never-ending left-hander. Dumps you out on a straightaway here with a bend in the middle. And as you're running this straightaway, you're actually headed back uphill again. And it's a significant rise. Hard to tell on TV because it flattens everything out. The picture does. Now you're up here at turn 7, the summit, turn 7. And into our Cube 3 Architecture S's. If you can get these S's right and work your way all the way around along the eastern edge of the racetrack, we can gain a lot of time through here. Carry a tremendous amount of speed and momentum through 8 and 8A and down to 9 right here. The left-hander would send you over to turn 10. Which comes up incredibly fast, tightens up on you on exit. The runoff, you use up all the racetrack right there. And then you have to get set up for turn 11, the far end of the racetrack here. Hard, hard, hard on the brakes, and a great opportunity to make a pass. You can see some rooting gouging down there as well. Might hurt some feelings down there today. Then it's hard on the throttle coming out. As you come up through the bend at 12, cross the start-finish line here, and begin another lap. The field forming up behind our Ginetta pace car. Front of the pack. Next time through the carousel here should be at full speed, unless we're suddenly told otherwise, but I believe it's just 2 pace laps and then we'll be underway. It'll be interesting to see if our pair of Bentleys work together to try to break away from the field. Everybody behind him. And joining us, big smile in place as usual. Searching for a headset. Pick either one, they're both fine. own Ben Sissel. Welcome, Ben.
This is going to be a really exciting race, the International GT. But let me try to figure this out, Ralph. Kind of go through the grid here.
All right, here's our starting lineup. As we talked about, the Bentleys up there at the front. They're going to start on the front row. Looks like, according to our grid lineup now, Sam Beswick, Peter Baljet, George Michael Merritt, Simon Aslan make up row 2, row 3, Mark Krigler and Nicholas Groombridge. Then it's Juan Gonzalez in his Porsche alongside of Ann Doherty, also in a Porsche. And then Thad Berger and Yusuf Nabi rounding out the top 10. As we get ready to get this one underway. Janetta Pacecar is pulled off. International GT ready to begin the Mission Foods Speed Tour weekend here at Sonoma Raceway, and the Bentleys are first across the line and the first to turn 1. Beswick out in front of Peter Baljet as we head up the hill to Mission Foods turn 2. Porsche's nipping at their heels though, Ben, right here is George Michael Merritt. And that white and copper colored Porsche is right on the back side of those big powerful Bentleys.
Yeah, look at those Bentleys out front. So cool to have them here. Butch Leitzinger, who raced those Bentleys, is here with us this weekend with Juan Gonzalez as we see Merritt going down this hill. But you were talking about these big, heavy Bentleys in front of these nimble Porsches through the carousel, Ralph.
Yeah, that's going to be the tricky part, right? The Porsches are going to own them under braking and in the tight, twisty portions of the racetrack. But when you get to spots like this here, from coming out of the carousel up to turn 7, where the Bentley can really start to leg it out, that's where they're going to show their speed.
Yes, and as a British car fan, I love seeing these Bentleys in International GT. Look at those things. And I love that even they keep the kind of the same look and feel that you can kind of resonate all the way back to those Bentleys from the 20s and 30s.
Oh, yeah. Well, they hang on to the heritage, don't they?
As they come through the Cube 3Ss. So Sam Beswick out front with Peter Baljet, and then George Michael Merritt, Mark Krigler, Simon Aslan, and Juan Gonzalez out there in that Mission Foods car coming in here in turn 11.
And that's going to be one of the more exciting portions of the racetrack all weekend long right there, because you can get very, very aggressive down there.
Yeah, turn 11, a lot of passing in turn 11, but you either have to hit it on the entrance or the exit. There aren't a lot of passes in the apex of turn 11 because that wall is undefeated, as Ernie says.
Yeah, I saw Tony Stewart end up on top of that wall once here in a NASCAR Cup Series race when passes went wrong down there. Turn 4 right here where Merritt's going through, that right-hander, we used to call that the separator here because it really separated the men from the boys as far as how you approach that corner. You could really attack it and brake hard and make a pass to the inside, root your way through, and make something happen.
Now they're coming up to the drag racing portion of the track outside of the carousel. There's Michael Merritt coming up into our Summit Racing turn 7. Kind of a 180 back and down again. There's Juan Gonzalez there in the rear of this long train of cars as they come through the Cube 3Ss. Now Juan Gonzalez, he does like to kind of take it slow here at the beginning, let the tires come to him. He didn't go out in yesterday's sprint race in the rain, and but look out for him to move up through in that Mission Foods Porsche, because once the car comes to him, once he feels the tire temperature there, now he's going to move up through the field.
Got some tremendous words of wisdom from Sam, or from Juan earlier this weekend, Ben. I'll tell you about it when you get back here. As we watch this battle here between some Porsches, working our way across start-finish line and back up into turn 1 once again. Krigler right there in the 140, sitting in 4th. And Mark Krigler's car is a Cayman GT4. And he is just in front of Aslan and Groombridge, and then Juan Gonzalez has been pointed out. So that is 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th running together through there.
We are joined now by the president of International GT, Ken Fangler. So Ken, thanks for joining us. We've got a great race start here for our first race of the Sonoma SpeedTour.
Well, technically it's the second race. We had that slosh fest yesterday, and we had about 9 cars. Participating yesterday. But guys, how about this grid? We're used to seeing a ton of Porsches, and it's everything but. And so it's very entertaining, some good racing, and very happy to be here at Sonoma International Raceway, formerly known as Sears Point in my mind, okay? And thank you very much.
It's great. We've got a Stuttgart Cup up here in the front of these Porsches too. So we're having a great time here, the Sonoma SpeedTour. Like Ken said, this is the first race that we have broadcasting live, but it's his second sprint race of the weekend as that Bentley comes around Mission Foods Turn 2.
Guys, bring me up to speed. What happened to the Ferrari early on? That was the young driver, Esteban Beckman, okay?
We saw him roll out, but we haven't seen him on camera
since.
since.
We haven't seen him, and
There's one of them over there, but that's not Esteban.
No, he's in the red car, burgundy color, and with Bobby G's group out of Reno, Nevada.
We have another one.
No, that's the other one. No, there's 3. And
Not sure.
And as I said, Esteban, young driver, first race in the rain, ran well, ran 157s in the rain yesterday here. Very good. And but he was scheduled to be second on the grid, and it's the Bentley boys running up front.
Yeah. But here we go. We've got the Mission Foods Porsche Cup coming up on the Stuttgart Cup. There's one of the Ferraris going around Mission Foods Turn 2. But this is the battle, and look at the Stuttgart Cup holding his own through the carousel. We don't often see that, Ken.
Well, that's a 4-liter car, so no real surprise. I've actually thought yesterday, even in the wet, that car would have really shown the difference in handling characteristics between a 911-based and a Cayman-based platform. Mid-engine versus rear engine, a little easier to drive with the mid-engine car. But so I thought maybe in the wet, and of course you throw the horsepower right out the window when it starts raining. So but the 911-based cars did prevail in winning. 2 different classifications, as you mentioned, Stuttgart Cup and Mission Foods GT3 Cup trophy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can't feel it like we can feel it, but when that Bentley crosses the start-finish line in front of us, it shakes the booth. It sounds amazing. So cool to have the Bentleys out here.
And that's why Peter Baljet bought both of these cars. Ben, he had been at the Long Beach Grand Prix and saw these cars actually race, and he said, not only did I see them, I felt them as they came thundering by. And he said, boy, I got to get me one of those. And he didn't get just one, he got 2. And we're so thrilled that he brought them out here. And as I said, the first car, Sam Beswick's car, is a Bentley Continental GT3. And then the car that Peter is driving is an Evo model to that, the evolution of the car.
Fantastic looking cars, even if they are driving on the wrong side of the
Right.
vehicle. I look over and go, why is he sitting over there in the passenger seat? And I go, oh, no, he's driving.
That is the 03 Ferrari. That is the one of Yusuf Nabi. That's the Ferrari 458 Challenge Series machine.
Yeah, a number of Maranello Cup cars. Great to see them those cars coming back. We have promise of them continuing on through the season and some other cars joining them. So great to see some other marks here at International GT.
Yeah, it should be another great weekend next weekend down at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. We should see a lot of these same cars with us and maybe a few more.
Few more is right. I think we have 18 Lamborghinis, all right? We are experiencing the luck of the draw in that the Lambo series is running at Laguna after our race. So they're all showing up to get some extra track time. We got 18 of them scheduled.
Ralph loves Lamborghini.
I'll be a happy camper that weekend for many reasons.
Now look at this coming through Cube 3 turn 11. Simon Asselin right behind, trying to get around that 4-liter Stuttgart Cayman, and then Groombridge just behind them. But you can see he's moving around, trying to get around him, Ralph.
Yeah, and this corner right here, turn 1, is one of the scariest corners here at this racetrack. Well, you carry so much speed into that turn. Saw Bob Wolick have a very, very nasty crash.
Oh
there one
boy,
year
that
in the
Lynn
IMSA
St.
days.
James. Yeah, I was around for the IMSA days when those the Ford went upside down, and boy, there were some horrific crashes there. Very fast going up the hill.
So Simon right behind, trying to get around.
And from here, I would say, Ben, the next best passing opportunity is going to be up at Summit Turn 7. You get through the carousel, you get a good run up here, you might be able to set something up when you get to the far north end of the race.
Yeah, it's all about right here. If you can carry the speed up the hill.
And right here, it wasn't quite close enough. Now what you have to do is get your rhythm down through the Cube 3 architecture S's right and set yourself up when you get to turn 11.
Yeah, but he's fallen back. In the gap on the 3 of these cars.
And battle while he just sits there waiting for the opportunity. Nick's East Coast regular with International GT out here in a quote-unquote rental car.
Here he comes, looking inside.
Yeah, not close
Nope,
enough.
not close enough to make it happen.
Nope.
But Groombridge has closed the gap.
He
Yeah,
sure
Nick-
did.
Now Simon is faster through what I think is the second scariest corner of our season there at turn 10, and he's quicker through there but just can't make it happen.
One of these two Bentleys actually won, I believe it was this car here, actually won the Asian GT Championship. And the other car, and the Evo, and it's in won a race or two over here.
I love that heritage spray painted 8 on the grill
yeah,
like they
it's
used
so
to be.
cool.
It's such a
Yeah.
cool car. Thank you so much, Bestwick and Baljet, for bringing these cars out. So it's Bentley versus Ferrari, Ralph.
As it has been for decades, and up through the inside, the Bentley going to put the Ferrari a lap down.
Yep, those two cars out of Vancouver. Happy to have them down the coast here at Sonoma. And so many new customers here on the West Coast, which is great, developing our West Coast presence.
Whoa!
And Simon made the pass, and it
Yeah,
looks like
and then it looked
Groombridge
like
might.
Like he took the wide
he
lane.
went way wide and off course and hasn't gotten back on yet. Our drone doing everything he can to hang with the Bentley down into 4. Continue downhill here to 5. And then you go back uphill real quick. And then it's a blind crest down into the carousel here.
And the carousel is so hard to get correct. You're just kind of holding on to grip but trying to keep speed, and it really is driving by the seat of your pants, because at any moment that rear right tire can give out on you. And that's a big curb there on the exit of turn 7 on driver's right. So they want to try to avoid that.
What a wonderful facility this is here in the hills of Northern California. I just love it here. I'm old school, so I think of the old Sears Point and coming down the backside of this track with the wiggles. That was pretty heroic, okay? But, they really, in the new configuration, quote unquote, and I'm showing my age, that newer configuration, they didn't take any of the character away from this place. And, this is just a fantastic facility. Drag racing. We'll have the car show up on the hill this weekend. Always a big show. And just, you look out over the hills here in the wine country, just spectacular. Just a fantastic facility.
It is. Look at the car amigo. Juan Gonzalez going into the carousel with 3. Too fast, too tasty. Juan Gonzalez making a pass on the outside exit of the carousel. I told you it's going to come to him, and now he is moving up through the field.
Yep. Good job, Juan.
That is a great looking car.
Mentioned to you, I got some great words of wisdom from Juan the other night at the hotel. We were chatting, and he said, "Don't forget, everything folds into a taco." I said,
I agree.
"That's very true." He said, "You also have to think outside the tortilla."
Yes.
I said, "Yeah, you do. You're right." He's a very fun and guy to chat with.
Love having him in the paddock.
Great having him.
Oh,
here
there's
racing.
your car, Ken.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the Ferrari we were looking for. That was a 296 challenge car,
Yeah.
right, Esteban Beckman?
I think he made one pace lap.
But we appreciate where he pulled off. We're able
Yep.
to stay under green. So right now he is the hero of our race because he didn't make the double yellows come out. So we appreciate that. And I'm sure all the other drivers in International GT that are having so much fun also appreciate that as Juan Gonzalez goes around Mission Foods turn 2. But here's that black maroon Ferrari.
Yeah, Sean Creech out of the Stuart, Florida area, towed it across the country, brought him along. He had called me about a month ago from a racetrack and said, hey, Ken, could we, my customer's interested in running with you. Could we do that? I said, come on. So he said, all right, we'll start in California. So he's here and in Monterey.
That is a beautiful car. Look at that, the number 16.
That's Rodin Unesi in a Ferrari 488. You know, Ken, you mentioned how this place was known as Sears Point International Raceway. It's had various iterations
Yeah, the
of its
Infineon
name.
days.
At
Yes.
first, it was known as Sears Point Raceway.
Right.
Then it was Golden State Raceway.
Ah.
Then Sears Point International Raceway.
Yep.
Infineon Raceway. And now Sonoma Raceway.
Yeah.
I actually have a program from Golden State.
Wow. I
Raceway.
never knew that. Ralph, do you know approximately what year did this track come to be?
It was in the late 60s the track was built, and it was owned at one point by Filmways, which was a movie company out of Southern California.
Yep. Well, the big news in California was the sale of Willow Springs, and I have to say it was one of those that at first said, "Oh no, here comes another housing development. That's the end of Willow Springs." And then the announcement came of who bought it and what their plans were, and I'm shocked. I spent a lot of time at Willow Springs. I love the Hoos. There's a great story behind that. Won it in a card game back in the 50s. You know, I mean, and Bill Huth was the ultimate cowboy. Out there. We used to work with him and his daughter Stephanie. There at Willow Springs for years and years.
I just double checked, and it was 1968.
Okay.
That Sears Point was built.
Great.
And Sears Point is actually the name of the hillside here.
Got it.
So there is our leader running in the exhibition class, Sem Beswick, coming around through the Mission Foods section to what really, this is the part that you don't see in IndyCar and NASCAR, this carousel, which is a very difficult section of the track.
Yeah, NASCAR ran it when they first came here, and then they decided it would be better to just skip it, run it all the way down to
Similar
the chute.
to the Glen where the boot is. Yeah,
it doesn't make for good TV because it's a very difficult section of the track. Look at the lines on that car there. As they come through, and you can't really tell in simulators or TV or video games, it's downhill all the way from 7 to 11.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was out setting up the signs, so just for fun, I wanted to see how far downhill. So in my truck, I put it neutral at the top, and I got to 35 miles an hour at 10.
The white flag is out, so Sam Beswick coming through our final two turns here should be staring squarely at the checkered flag, and he is. Sam Beswick will run this one from the pole to the checkers for the win in that beautiful 2016 Bentley Continental GT3. And Peter Baljet, his teammate and car owner, should hang on for second place. There he goes across the line. And then it should be the first of our Porsches, George Michael Merritt, who should be making his way to the line to take third.
And the Bentleys are running exhibition, and I hope we can get some more Bentleys and move them into International GT because they put on a great show. But Michael Merritt should come in for overall with International GT.
Yeah, Michael's currently leading the Mission Foods GT points championship very early in the season yet, as we know. We got a long way to go, and lots of things could happen. But Michael said when he saw he was leading the points championship, he said, maybe I should try and gain some more points. And these are the type of races where the regulars, let's say, are not here that you can gain some points. And he's got 4 or 5 GT 4-liter cars to gain points at, because you get half a point for every car you beat in class or a class higher. And that's what the championship has come down to every year. a half a point, and it's because you beat somebody else in a class or a class higher than you somewhere along the season.
And you saw Merrick cross the line. That gives him third. And again, Ben, I don't know if you heard this earlier when I mentioned Sam Beswick, first time he's been behind the wheel of this car this weekend, and the first time he's been to Sonoma Raceway this weekend. Boy, he's got it figured out.
Yeah, good for them. Good start for the weekend after a soggy race yesterday. This is good. We got a race this afternoon and an hour-long race tomorrow morning, and all part of the SpeedTour Trans Am here, SVRA. Fantastic.
So Asselin was in 4th, Nicholas Groombridge 5th, Krigler in the Stuttgart Cup 6th, and Juan Gonzalez 7th, and Doherty 8th, Thad Berger 9th, and Yusuf Nabi in a Ferrari in 10th.
I'd like to thank, speaking of Juan Gonzalez, Mission Foods and Pirelli, both our marketing partners, long time since the beginning, 12 years now with International GT. Thank you very much for their support. Also, Detroit Watch Company, Speedcom Communications, Forge Line Wheels, Sunoco, Race Fuels, Stand 21. Thank you for all your support.
Well, Ken Fangler, what a great start for our live stream here on SpeedTour TV on YouTube at the Sonoma SpeedTour. Here's the race results.
Well, thanks, guys, for the invite. I'm going to head down to the podium. Appreciate the opportunity.
And sorry I didn't recognize you at the door. The glare on the door, all I could see was some guy waving at us, and I was like, man, we're on air.
Well, I've been locked out of other places.
Well, I will let you know that Ben was the last one in the door, so he probably locked you out.
I don't blame you for not letting me in. But thanks, guys. We look forward to seeing you this afternoon. Have a great day of live stream races. As I tell the guys, I said, the great thing about live stream is that...
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back for some of the podium activities here at Sonoma Raceway right after this.
And get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Yes. Hon, the WeatherTech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and street legal. Find the Hawk Performance Brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
How good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn 140-mile-an-hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HD2 system.
Said.
One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We are back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look out.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, all for less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Okay, I can hear myself. That's about it. Move up this way, folks. First off, on behalf of International GT, thank you very much for being here. Can we? Let's see if I can get a little more volume. Just a little bit. Test, test, test. 1, 2. Test, test. Test, test, test. Testing. 1, 2. That better? That better? Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. Noisy cars. Anyway, on behalf of International GT, we'd like to thank our marketing partners, Pirelli and Mission Foods, our sponsors, Forge Line Wheels, Detroit Watch Company, and our official vendors, Speedcom Communications, Sunoco, Stand 21. Thank you very much for your support. That was a good race, guys, a good way to start the deal. You know, you got to go race, and sometimes things run well, and sometimes things don't. For the Bentley boys, it went very well, all right? The Ferrari guys, not quite as much, but we're going to give some things away anyway. We're going to start with Mission Foods GT3 Cup, 2 first places. Julie, got it? You all right? 2 first places, a second and third. Third place in Mission Foods GT3 Cup 4-liter class. Third place, Nick Groombridge. Come on up. Give him a round of applause. Second place, battling it out with a 4-liter Cayman, Simon Asselin. Simon, come on up. First place in 4-liter, gaining some more valuable points, George Michael Merritt. Jordan, come on up, Michael. And we're going to call up our winner and our longtime friend and marketing partner, Mission Foods GT3 Cup, Class 4R, Juan Gonzalez. Where's Juan at? Where's Juan? Do you see him? No? Is he eating chips? Well, all right, I'll talk to these guys. All right. 2 for 2. Nick, it's worth coming out here. Good fun, a lot more fun than the dry.
Yeah, that was a great race, Ken, and really fun. And I'm just trying to do a little bit better and see if I can keep up with Simon.
Well, no doubt that you were in the catbird seat watching Simon and the Cayman battling it out, and it was a good place to be. He took advantage of a situation when there was a mistake, but you're watching and learning.
Absolutely, right? And it was fun watching them, right? Great race.
Congratulations to you and Grant Mayman. Third place, Nicholas Groombridge. Congratulations. Simon, again, 2 for 2. Congratulations to you. Thanks for being here as part of International GT.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just had a great time at Sonoma. I'm still learning the track, but it's getting to me now. Great setup by the Racer on Rails team, and had a lot of fun with gentlemen that came in there. Good fight. He was a great racer and managed to get by him, and then pulled a bit of a gap after that. But I couldn't see this guy, Michael. This was too fast.
Too fast. Well, we'll see Mark up here a little bit later. It was a good race. Let's give a round of applause. Simon Asselin, second place in 4-liter. And in first place, 2 for 2. Way to go, buddy. You're collecting points and doing a good job, keeping clean. Good racing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was wonderful. You guys are awesome. We love International GT and the sponsors, Mission and Pirelli and the rest of the team. It was great. I got a great team here. Tyler and drawing a blank. I also have a client here and a friend, Glenn. I don't know where he's at. I wanted him to see me on the podium, but he's hiding somewhere. So anyways, thank you so much, all. It's great.
Congratulations, guys. Hold the trophies and champagne up. Let's get some photos. Round of applause for our top 3 finishers. Don't go away, guys. We have one last thing. Julie, come on up. A new sponsor with us. All right. Coolbox. Certificates towards Coolbox. 500, 250, 150. Hold those certificates up and take some pictures. Congratulations to you guys. Coolbox certificates. Not a bad way. All right. Thank you much, guys. Good job. All right. We're going to move on to Maranello Cup. Not always as you plan it. 2 first place trophies for Maranello Cup. 488 class. Roden Yonesis. Roden. And in second place. Oh, Julie's, I've seen that before. And in 458, new with International GT, Yosef Nabi. Come on, Yosef. Guys, hello? Nobody? Going once? Going twice? Come on. All right, we're waiting on you. He's making the grand appearance, all right? We don't have a red carpet. That's right. Come on up. You brought your coach with you, I see. Jump up there. First place. Change hat. Joseph, sometimes You know, when you're only car in class, doesn't matter, but the important part is that you have some fun out there at the racetrack.
Had a great time. First time with everybody here with IGT. It was awesome.
Good. Well, we wish you the best of luck in the rest of the racing this weekend. We got a sprint race this afternoon, enduro tomorrow, and we wish you and your team the best of luck.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Joseph, hold up the trophies. We'll take a picture. Round of applause. First place, Maranello Cup. All right. Stuttgart Cup. 2 first place trophies. 2 different classes. Stuttgart Cup. Little car that could. 3.4 liter. Chris Hansberg. Chris, come on up. And in first place, given the 911 base cars fits, came in GT and 4 liter class, Mark Krigler. Mark and Chris. We'll wait for him to do the hat adjustment. Good enough. Jump up there on the podium. Congratulations to you, little car. Good to be here, right?
Yeah. Thanks for letting us run all the little Caymans. We got to have a place to have fun. We just try to stay out of your way, and thank you for having us.
Well, staying out of the way and passing cars is 2 different things, but you did a great job out there. I know you prefer the wet, okay? That yesterday, that horsepower thing, but today was dry. Still good fun racing, so congratulations to you and best of luck for the next 2 races.
Thanks so much, guys.
Hold the trophies up. We'll get some pictures. All right. Stuttgart Cup first place. And we're going to move over with our overall winners. Let's call them up in the Bentley boys. Peter and Sam, come on up, guys. Great job. Beautiful cars. Sam, I'll start over here with you. I think this is the first time, actually, we've had the Bentleys running with us. Fantastic, real crowd pleasers and wonderful cars, well prepared and well driven. So congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. It's great that you guys put this on. We really enjoy it. Thanks to all the guys that help us, Charlie, Jerry, Al. Couldn't do it without them. And also, I know they can't hear me, but all the safety workers and volunteers that show up, so grateful.
No doubt.
Yeah, so thank you.
Can't do it without them.
And Sam did a pretty good job too.
Congratulations, Peter Bedgett, second place. Jump up there. Come on up. Don't be shy. Now you're much taller than I am. Okay. He doesn't have to stand on the podium. But he said, "Well, I'll bring the fast guy too." Sam, disappointing that you didn't have the Ferrari. Didn't have the Ferrari to battle with. He had a problem. I'm sure he'll be back this afternoon. But it was a good way to start the weekend for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We're getting used to the car and first time at the track, so it's a blast here. It's a ton of fun. The elevation is a lot of fun. So I'll just try and stay ahead of this guy. And again, big appreciation for Peter for letting me drive his car. So we're having a great time.
Very cool. Yeah, it's always better to have a good car owner, and he's okay with coming in second. But congratulations to you, and wish you best of luck in the next 2 races with International GT this weekend.
Thank you.
First place, guys, get up on the podium, hold the trophies up, don't jump down there, hold that up. Got to do some photos. Let's give them a final round of applause. The Bentley boys, first and second overall with International GT. Thank you much, folks. Have a fantastic afternoon. Enjoy your lunch. We'll see you later this afternoon for our second sprint race. Great job. See you then. Thank you.
All right, we're going to get in the weeds here from a technical standpoint. This is the Coolbox, the iceless driver cooling system. Very cool technology developed by 2 TA2 drivers. So we've got Victor Chopla here that competed in the Western Championship last year. So tell us about this box and why it was developed.
It was developed because you obviously cannot perform as well in a really hot race car, just like the TA2 car, when you're super hot. So, you have to lower your body temperature in order to compete at a better level.
But really, the emphasis that I love is it's iceless. You're not carrying around a bunch of weight in a cooler. It doesn't take up a lot of room, obviously, inside the car.
Yep. We try to make it as lightweight as possible, but as efficient as possible, where it still works at super high temperatures. And we designed this box to just be bulletproof and work under, all circumstances. If it's 110 outside, it's going to be 160 in the race car. And this box still needs to perform to a point where the driver of the car is not going to overheat, and it's going to feel like he has ice cold water going through his vest. So we basically designed it originally for us because we know what it takes to be in a hot race car like that. So, that's basically the background of why we started the company in the first place.
A few years ago, we were at Indy, and Amy Ruman got out of the car. It was about 100 degrees outside. They put a laser in there. It was 175 after her cool down lap inside the car, which is you could legally cook meat at 160. So driver comfort, you can concentrate a lot better when you're comfortable. If you're sweating, if you're irritated, you sort of get the red mist. So Matt Rivkin, talk about the driver comforts when you're in the car.
Yeah, it's a really big deal to be comfortable inside the car, and it's not just the comfort aspect. It's also how you're functioning at such a high level when it comes to racing a car that you need to be on top of your game at the highest level. So if you're suffering from not necessarily heat exhaustion, but if you're overcooked in that sense, you're not going to be able to make the same types of decisions. And think about these races. They're 75 minutes long, right? So it's a long time to be in the car at, even if it's not 175, even if they're typically around 150 inside the cockpit of the car, it takes its toll. So when it matters the most at the end of the race, that's when you need to be your sharpest. And that's something that these units help you do, is they keep you cool and allow you to perform your best throughout the race and not have to worry about the heat aspect of it, focus on the driving.
Well, I noticed it last year. Our Q3 Architecture TA2 Series champion Rafa Matos would get out, top step of the podium, hadn't even broken a sweat. It looks like he just got out of like an air-conditioned car, and that really does help mentally and physically in the car.
Absolutely, and Rafa will attest to this as well. He's been using Coolbox. He used it last year, loved it, said it's the only system that actually worked for him throughout the entire race, and it shows. Like, as you said, like, he gets out of the car, and it's like, obviously you're working hard inside the car, you're working physically, but if you can be cool and comfortable, it just allows you to perform that much better.
I would like to add that, it's not really only a comfort thing, it really is a safety thing, because your brain at some point just, doesn't make the same decisions that it would make when your body is actually at a state where, it's cool and functioning properly. Because once you start overheating, your brain goes into fight or flight, and it just doesn't work properly anymore. So I think it's more of a safety aspect having this unit than only a comfort. It's comfort when it's 70 degrees outside, but when it's a hot day out, it's more of a safety thing than anything else.
I know you guys race in all kinds of things. You got out of Audis and started running in TA2, but talk about the driver change aspect in sports car racing or endurance racing. It seems like you have the best system for that.
Absolutely, yeah. So, for obviously TA2 cars, it's open windows, open passenger windows, but it still gets incredibly hot because of how the exhaust is routed and just the nature of the cars themselves. But in other series where you have factory race cars with closed windows, it's even more important, or as important, because it's getting incredibly hot in there. There's no airflow, even with like the Cup cars, right? So they have factory AC. AC does not do much to cool off the driver. So a lot of times what we do with our systems is we'll actually hook up, instead of using an aqueduct for the outside air, we'll hook it up directly to the factory AC to get airflow into our system so that they can now use the vest and cool their body down to 40 degrees while they're in those cars.
Now, one more thing I want to bring up here is this Coolbox system is on Jared Odrick's car. There probably isn't anybody in this paddock that knows more about body conditioning and how important it is to keep your mental and your physical in check. Actually, come on in here, Jared. We were talking after Mid-Ohio, and we were talking about how important that is. So Jared Odrick, former NFL player, first-round draft pick for the Miami Dolphins. I feel like you know more than anybody else in this paddock about body conditioning. So how important is this Coolbox for you?
No, I was just talking about it before coming over here. It's vital. I came into the TA2 series for high-level racing, and in order to do it, you need high-level equipment, and I think that's what the Coolbox is, and it's performed that way ever since they basically saved my ass over at Mid-Ohio. I think it was like a heat wave, and it was like a health warning that we got, like on the local news on the bottom of the health warning. And you know, I look over at my fiance, and I'm like, I don't have a cool suit, right? And so then a few calls were made, and the Coolbox guys, you know, came in and saved the day. And there was a unit sent, and I had never used that before, and I was amazed how actually cooling it was. You know, because I had tried a few other ones before in some of the amateur racing that I was doing, but since coming here, this has been in my car, and it's been awesome. And they've been with me every step of the way that I go further and further up the field.
Nice. Now, let's get a little bit technical too, because the intake on this thing is in a really cool area. We have several different cars here in the paddock. A lot of times it can be on like the passenger window mounted right there. A lot of people prefer that, but the Coolbox system really is such a cool piece of equipment. You can see Jared is putting on the vest that then just hooks up into the box. These little veins run through with basically with cooling liquid inside. What kind of liquid is that?
It's just distilled water. So obviously there's a refrigerant for the AC compressor inside the unit, but we don't want any of that near the body. So it's just distilled water that runs on the body. So if it gets on you, it's no big deal.
And we have actually had in TA2 under different systems, not Coolbox systems, but people were getting burned because the water running through there, the ice would melt and then they'd burn. So having an iceless with a refrigerant is actually, just like you said, such a safety thing, because we've had some drivers get out and they've gotten marks on their bodies because their ice melted halfway through the race, and then it's just basically hot water running through. So I'm with Bob Accardo Jr., who is the longest, kind of the OG of Coolbox with the Make-A-Wish car. But talk about the importance of having a Coolbox in your car while you're driving in the heat.
Man, it gets like 150 degrees inside these cars during the race for an hour and 15 minutes. You die without it. So it's absolutely mandatory. I got one of their oldest ones in my car, and man, things never let me down. I think I've used 2 or 3 of the generations now at this point, and now they got a really tiny one out that doesn't add a ton of weight, even better. And yeah, these guys, they make a great product.
Nice. So if you want that kind of unfair advantage, the competitive advantage in a race car, make sure you check out Coolbox, the iceless cooling system. They're getting smaller, they're getting more efficient and lighter, but they're keeping drivers like Bob here alive. So check out Coolbox. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Winner's Circle after the International GT race at the Sonoma SpeedTour. I absolutely love coming here. Eric Whitnable setting up some of our flags, but we're going to do what I call a paddock walk. We're going to try to keep this live, try to keep it family friendly. We're going to see what we're doing, but first we're going to talk over here. We've got some merchandise going. We're blowing out some merchandise. It's a little bit chilly here, so you can get a Trans Am hoodie. You've got some Trans Am hats for sale, $20, $15. You need to come down to the Sonoma SpeedTour if you're kind of in the Bay Area. You can get tickets at speedtour.net. We've got some great races coming. My friend Sean here is blowing up some merch, putting some things on sale. Sean, how's it going? Welcome to Sonoma.
Going pretty good. Thank you for being here. We got past event shirts, $5. Come get them all. We don't need to pack them around. Everything's good. Come enjoy the race.
Nice. Well, if you come to the merch and you get something, this guy right here, the famous Sean, will even give you a fist bump. There we go. Come check out the merch here at the Sonoma SpeedTour. We've got some food trucks that here, and my cameraman can kind of nod in agreement, right? That it smells so good that both of us were talking here earlier. Yeah, they're going to have to get in. Oh, they want a close-up. Okay, I'm hearing we got to get a close-up because it smells so good. Our photographer, Chris Clark, is in line. Look at these fries. I just want to steal them and eat them. So, yeah, you got to come out. Come out to the food trucks. Come out to the Sonoma SpeedTour. I don't think we can. I don't think that's. I'm hearing that they want some fries to the camera, but you know we don't want to steal somebody's fries. Then we've got over here. We've got Mission Foods has set up a booth. They're giving away chips to anybody that would like some chips. They're shaped like race cars and motorcycles. Well, hold on. Here we go. Let's talk to you guys real quick. Are you guys having fun so far?
Hell yeah.
Now, how about the chips? You got to pull out a new chip for us. We got to show. We're live on TV right now. Look at this. They are shaped like a race car.
You like the mission chips?
They're delicious. The what?
You like these mission chips?
Oh, yes, I do. They're delicious.
See, she's so polite, she didn't want to talk with her mouth full. All right, and you guys are having fun?
Absolutely, absolutely. Good time.
Nice. Well, you guys have a lot of fun. He's got the motorcycle one, so check that out. Too fast, too tasty, mission foods. Then let's come over here. We'll go through Trans Am Tech. So the Trans Am series presented by Pirelli is here this weekend. The Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series will be happening in just a few hours. You can scan a code to win a free set of Pirelli tires. And right now, this is our technical inspection department here. Sorry about that. This is Tim Richter, our race director. Right now he's using this to measure the heights, the ride heights of the car. Each corner, each tire is on the scale, so it has to be to weight. Then this thing goes up and measures the ride height. Then we move this referee thing through, and we can measure the wheelbases, we can measure the wing heights, the roof heights. Everything has to be to tech for them to take the green flag in the start of the race. Then we'll come over here. Brody Goebel's actually talking to his sponsor, Fixie Wheels, over here. Brant, the owner of Fixie Wheels. And Brody, I heard a rumor, you've been our champion in the Western Series, but I heard you were late to driver's meeting and have to start from the back.
Yeah, it's first time I've ever done it, and definitely won't do that again. I actually had the schedule up for the wrong race weekend, so next weekend that was up on my phone, and yeah, definitely won't be late for the next one. So it's a huge penalty for us. Obviously, we're kind of feeling like we're a top 5 car this weekend, and Brown Bros Ford and Fixie Wheels and Balchet Cars, everyone's been working super hard, so I'm gutted to let the guys down, honestly, and yeah, it'll be a good video. So.
And we have 2 former champions. Both were late, didn't show up for driver's meeting, so Mike Skeen is also starting from the back. So watch out for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series. Those Fixie Wheels will make you fast, though.
Yeah, we can't actually run them on the TA2 car, but I've been racing with Fixie Wheels for a long time, and in our Formula Drift program, Brant and with Fixie, they helped us out too, and yeah, it's awesome to have good partners on board, because for me, it's a lot of this is self-funded and just trying to make it happen. So we're kind of the top privateer team right now, and we're proud to be running up front with the national guys, and yeah, of course, in the race, I hope to make it up there again. So.
Well, Brant and Brody, Canadians here with us down here at the Sonoma SpeedTour. We love that. We'll come out here now. So something that's really cool about these SpeedTour events, and all of them are like this, I don't have any like special passes. The fans don't need special passes. The same access that I can get that you're about to see through our paddock is the same access that all of the fans get. So we'll come down here. This is some really cool stuff. This is the garage area. You can see some photos happening right now. This is a really cool car here, this Advance Auto. The Moon equipped the wheels guys that put the solid hubcaps on like the Volkswagen Beetles. They're out here, but this car, it was here with us last year. Always very well prepared. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Are you having fun at the Sonoma SpeedTour?
Yes, we are.
This car is so cool to have a Camaro out here, and I was speaking to the driver last year. He's from Japan, but he's just always wanted a Camaro. Is that correct?
Yes. He always with the muscle cars. Yeah, he was dreaming about racing in America. So.
He said he was dreaming about racing in America, so he's out here in an American muscle car. Then right next to him is this beautiful Ferrari that we saw. We don't know what happened. We saw it just barely in the International GT race, and it went out with the mechanical, but it looks like they've already figured it out. It'll be back in the next race with International GT. Then speaking of Japan, we've got a Nissan right here, driven by an American. And this is the kind of stuff that you have. This is just like, I mean, just look, just these 3 cars. We've got a Nissan Z, a new Ferrari 488, and a 60s Camaro. And then some beautiful stuff. Bobsy, ladies and gentlemen. We don't see too many Bobsies left, but these cars are just so cool. A little old sports racer from the 50s. I always love these cars on Avon tires. Then we've got the beautiful orange Corvette. I got to show this car because we're going to talk a lot about this car in Group 8 here. This Ford Escort, unbelievable. Now, something about Sonoma, other than the carousel, He's right-hand drive, Sean Brown, all the way from England. He ships this car over from England, runs a few races, and ships it back. But Sonoma is a very good advantage to have a right-hand drive car, meaning the weight is on the inside of a lot of the corners except for the carousel. But this car is really fast, made to FIA specs. It's got the big fender wells. And look at this little pulley here doing the oil pump. It's just a really, really well-prepared car. I think Sasco over in Virginia kind of prepares it, and then they shipped it out here to J&L to kind of run it in the races, which is a lot of fun. Troy Ermish, TA2 car, the Cube 3 TA2 car series. Troy Ermish is also, he runs the 510, the Hoosier Tire 2.5 Challenge. That's B sedan cars from the 70s in the Trans Am series. But this is such a cool car. Holly Jean is his daughter. Then we got to show over here his wife, Ashley. They have a bunny ranch. It's the Ermish Ranch, the Bunny Ranch out of Tracy. They breed bunny rabbits for pets for people. Not the kind of bunny ranch you guys are thinking about. It's actual bunnies, like Easter bunnies. Troy, I'm sure you could tell us about this. All these great cars here. We want to hear about your bunnies.
They reproduce fast.
Like rabbits, right?
Exactly. No, I'm happy to be here. I appreciate all the support from Trans Am, SVRA. Happy to have our Hoosier 2.5 Challenge series here with a 20-car field. And a little behind the 8 ball in the TA2 car. I haven't been in a car in over a year, and I'm a little out to lunch, but I'll race all right, and we'll see what we can get in kind of middle of the pack. So national teams are bringing their A game, and they're really causing a step-up program for the West Coast guys. So, we'll do our best and be there at the end.
Nice. I love it. Well, good luck out there. So Troy, not only is he racing in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series, but he's taking care of 20 of these B sedans in the Hoosier Tire 2.5 Challenge. Two of my favorite cars here this weekend. I think the 935 is on track. But look at this. This is a Porsche Abarth. So the body, the chassis was kind of a conglomeration of Abarth and Porsche, but then it's got this beautiful Porsche air-cooled engine in it. And this thing always comes just looking like it's like a concours show car. Now notice the double distributors. The Porsche guys are going to like that. It's a double plug car with the big downdraft carburetors going into it, but just the coolest sounding car, and I love it. But he's also driving the pink monster Porsche 935 on track with us as well. Then we'll come back here. We'll look at some of these 510s. Richard Goldsmith's last year's Western TA champion is about to go out in his beautiful Chevy Corvette. And then over here, we'll start to talk to some of these 510 people. Over here, sorry, I'm losing my camera guy, so well, we got to get a shot of this. Ashley, who runs the series, over here grilling. How you doing? So the Hoosier Tire 2.5 Challenge. Troy was talking to us a little bit about it. You had such a great season last season, and it looks like this season's going to be even better.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We're happy to be out here. The series is growing. We've got momentum, and we're happy to have Hoosier on board this year, and good car counts, so we're excited to be here.
We're excited you're here as well, as R is pulling in, but we'll show you what these are. So these would have raced in like the Trans Am series or IMSA back in the day. This was back during the oil embargo of the 70s, so it was basically a lot of Alphas, a lot of Alfa Romeos, a lot of BMWs, and then the Datsun 510s with John Morton just kind of absolutely dominated. So you can see Phil Hartstein here. Here's the Hoosier 2.5 Challenge. But it's so funny that the 510s did so well, because back in the day, Datsun, Nissan, they were just making kind of like a disposable family car, 4-seater car, grocery getter. You can get these in a 2-door or 4-door. And kind of like the Mini Coopers, they just ended up being really good, balanced race cars. Now, speaking of somebody that's not so well-balanced, Phil Hartstein here, and I'm saying it right. It's not Stein, right? It's Steen? Stein. It's like a UBS thing, you know, it's a USB thing. Yeah, I do like this. So tell us a little bit about what it's like to run in this 2.5 Challenge, because we're going to see you later on TV.
Yeah, we're racing our 2.5 Challenge is tomorrow. So for me, it's my first race car ever. So my first vintage is where I came from. It's where I started. I've been to my 4th season. It's amazing how balanced this car is. I mean, it's like a 1970s grocery getter, right? We take it to go to get groceries at Safeway when I was a kid. But you run it at 256 horsepower with disc brakes, and it weighs 1,800 pounds. It just rails. And so
How much does it weigh with you in it?
Well, I'm definitely over the spec requirement, that's for sure. But, you know, I pulled 4 seconds off my time yesterday in qualifying, and these guys in here who are the former pros pulled 4 seconds off their time in qualifying, so they're in the 148s now. So these things are just incredible. They're incredible machines.
It's frustrating when everybody gets faster. And it must be these new Hoosier tires, huh?
Hoosier Tire this year is the series sponsor, which is really fantastic. You know, I think we were all a little skeptical about running speedsters with tread on them, but I'd put them up against the R7s, the slicks, which we ran for a long time. But yeah, they're super fast, man. They're reliable, they're durable. They get us around the corners and turns and bring us back into the paddock. So all works out well.
I love it. And it's Phil Hartstein. I will get it right. Someday, maybe. It's 50-50. So we'll come through here, out, and we'll go through some of the garages a little bit more because we can come up to the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 cars that are out here. And like I said, again, you can see all the spectators talking to people, walking around. No special access. If you get one of our tickets on SpeedTour.net, you have this kind of access out here. The cool thing about these TA2 cars, you can see this is Tristan McKee's car. They're warming up for today's race as they get going. Tristan is a part of the Chevrolet Development Series with Scott Lagacy here. Scott Lagacy is the team owner of these basically 5 cars right here. And they have to, so the rules are, they have to fuel and they have to warm up outside the garage because as you can hear, these cars do get loud. That's Barry Bose, last year's Pro-Am champion. We were talking about Mike Skeen. This is Mike Skeen here, who is a former TA2 champion, but he's starting from the back. So we know he's fast, which usually makes for a really good show. And then we got to get a shot here. Look at all the spectators with their phones out, getting some great video images with their phones. We love it. That's what this is all about. Make sure that you share the photos that you get on social media and on your Instagram and all of that, because that's just so much fun. Then we've got the Cope team here. So Keith Prochuk, Tom Sheehan, Will Robinson, Mike Cope, all the way from southern Florida, all the way out here at Sonoma in the Bay Area. Now this is a back-to-back. We go right from here to the Mission Foods Laguna Seca Speed Tour. Now look at this, how many NASCAR people? Here's something I want to point out. I miss these days. I miss the days of the lug nut tightening instead of that single. See, look at that. Don't you guys miss those days in NASCAR? Well, that's still alive and well here in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series. Matt Parent in the Venture General Contracting out of the Pacific Northwest is here. Now we're coming over to the Nitro team, who has won the last 2 championships. You can see Sam Corey here getting ready to go. So Sam, looks like you're getting ready to go. We're about to show your race live. What can people expect?
Well, it's going to be a good race today. We roll off 9th. We got a really good Toyota Camry here with the Nitro Motorsports crew, but it's going to be a fun race. I mean, there's a lot of cars here, especially going into turn 1 and 2. Going up the hill, it's going to be really tight. So really excited for it, and we'll see what we can do.
Nice. Well, I am excited for it as well. I love the racing at Sonoma. So Sam Corey, good luck out there. Have fun in these new Toyota Camrys. We've got Brent Cruz out here with us, Thomas Annunziata, Mia Lovell, but I see an absolute legend right now, ladies and gentlemen. So we got to go talk to our legends over here. So Boris Said is talking to Boris Said. Boris Said, I know you've run a lot of races here back in the Sears Point days and probably Infineon and all the different iterations. But now your son, Boris Said Jr., is out here racing. How is that going?
Oh, it's going good. I mean, we just had some problems in practice, and then it was unfortunate qualifying didn't happen. But so now he's got to pass some cars. So I was actually just telling him where my favorite place is to pass cars. So it should be fun to watch.
Now, Boris, you did the whole season with us last year. You're always really fast, but how much time have you had here at Sonoma?
I tested once here, actually, in the rain, and so I was pretty excited to go out in the rain yesterday, but we didn't get to do that. But this will be my first time, racing here, but I like it so far.
Nice. Yeah. So you're from California, but the other part of California, so you've done all these tracks out in the Midwest and the East Coast more than you've done your own California track.
Yeah, I've never raced here before, so I've never raced here or Laguna, so they're both new tracks. They seem good, and I've heard good things, so it's exciting.
Borisset Jr. running the HendrickCars.com, one of 2 cars out there, but also, if I'm in California and I want to buy a BMW, where should I go for that?
There's only one place, BMW Murrieta down south, and I'll give you a good deal.
Oh, yeah. So you can go see Borisset, buy a BMW from here, Murrieta down south, Southern California, and you're going to give them a good deal, right?
Yep, and if not, if you live anywhere else, just go to HendrickCars.com, and they have any car you want. That's where you got to start.
I love it. I love it. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The legend, Borisset. We'll come back through here. Are we good on time? We're gonna come show a couple more vintage cars, and then we'll wrap this up. So we'll try to hurry. But this is just too much fun. We're hanging out with celebrities, like Boris said, as we come through here. But we're gonna go over here and visit Racecraft, because these cars are so cool. They're going to be in that Hoosier Tire 2.5 Challenge. Look at that. There's Paul Menard is racing in Trans Am this weekend, but here is his old stock car running the Paul Menard. So that's what he ran here at Sonoma a couple of years ago in the NASCAR Cup Series. Now he's running with us in TA. We'll come over here to Racecraft. Some really cool cars, but I love this Volvo here. And I have to talk about Volvo because he's running in the B Sedan Challenge, but a few years ago at Laguna Seca, he flipped the car about 4 times, rolling down the carousel. So 500 pounds heavier than the Alfa, than the Datsun, but you're out there in the Volvo having a good time. Frula, thank you so much for bringing them out with Racecraft. Also, I got to point out this tow vehicle for the Volvo. I saw him driving in, but this is what this place is all about. We've got a car show up the hill, about 200 race cars here. You got to come out to the Sonoma Speed Tour. Go to speedtour.net for tickets. You can watch us live on YouTube. But thank you guys so much, and we're going to come back with the fan walk, grid walk for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, how was that? Did we ever?